Hey guys, welcome to another video. In this one, we're going to take a deep dive into the nature of desire, what you're here for, and what you truly want, and how to navigate this world with all your desires that you have. Should you actually trust them? Should you actually follow them? Should you abandon them? And these are the answers that we are exploring for ourselves. And as always, I'm going to share my perception, my perspective, and then you're here to take what resonates with you. Now let's first explore why desires exist. And the desires that you have only exist so that you can navigate this world, so that you can have a purpose, a direction in life. If you did not have desires, you wouldn't know where to go, what to do. You would just be like a statue. But since you have desires, you do have a calling. Okay, I want to get this. I want to find something, or maybe needs. Even those are forms of desires. And so we don't want to demonize desires because they do help us align with what we're here for, our blueprint, our mission, our purpose. So instead of demonizing them, what we want to do is we want to understand them so they also don't become a source of distractions. Because this is the word that we're navigating. It's an art of discernment to know which desires to pursue, to what degree, and then what to do with them. Now, first of all, in spiritual teachings, they ask us to abandon all desires. Why do they say so? Is because we want to recognize our true self. And our true self is not residing in any desire, because desires belong to the egoic personality that we have, not to again demonize or make it bad, because it's what we're going to use to go forward in the journey. But nevertheless, if we want to recognize and realize and enlighten and awaken to who we are, then we must have these moments when we drop everything, all persona, all identification, all desires. And when we can do that, then we come back to our true nature, our true self, which is sufficient, which is whole, which is complete, which is love, which is peace, which is bliss, which is abundance. And this you're going to recognize by yourself the more you can sit into those silent moments where you abandon everything and you simply raise your willingness to know who you are. And this helps a lot to actually align with your true self, and then therefore align with your higher self, and then go on your path to understand your mission, to understand your blueprint, what you're here for. But then again, as we come back to the relative life, we need to understand the nature of desire and how to pursue that, which is why we don't want to stay in that space of no desire, because that's going to be what people call spiritual bypass. I think I'm going to make another video on spiritual bypass, but you can also do that. It's an option. It's your free will to also not pursue any desire, which is completely fine and allowed. But you see, you incarnated here for specific reasons, specific sets of lessons that you are here to learn. And I made a video on destiny versus free will. You can watch that if you haven't watched that already to understand about this more. Now, as we come back to our desires, even after realizing our true self, then we can purify them. We can purify ourselves and our perception so that our desires become more and more aligned with our destiny, with our purpose. And how do we do that? Simply by recognizing that desires are there to give you a direction. That's all the purpose of desire. Because what the human minds do is that it translates the desire into some kind of craving, into some kind of picture that satisfies the ego. This could be a desire for a certain amount of money, a perfect relationship, a famous status that you have, or some achievement, some power position. And these are, again, not bad, because this could be your path. But if we get sucked into that as an outcome to achieve, then again, we're coming from ego. It's not pure. We're getting latched on to a particular picture, which actually takes us away from our true mission here, which could be those things, but we don't want to attach ourselves to that. We don't want to become this outcome-seeking person. We want to just align, okay, what do I desire? I feel excited for this. I feel excited to create. I feel excited to reach more people. I feel excited to have more money for whatever reason. And you see, when you have that desire and you just follow that, coming from a very pure place, then you will find out however it wants to play out. You follow what wants to happen rather than you trying to do things and make things happen. So in that journey, you will also be surprised many times. You will desire certain things and then you don't desire them anymore. Or maybe you achieve certain things and then you recognize that it's not really what you wanted. It was just a picture in your mind. You see, this is the nature of desire. You get a calling, it sets you in motion, and then this is your duty then, is to go in that direction, follow that direction, but don't attach to anything. Don't expect anything except that you are stepping into your positive state of excitement. And that's what you want. It's always available in the present moment if you can step into that. The fulfillment of your desire and the going for it is both what you need at the same time. Then you know that you're coming from a pure place where you're not craving for anything, and also you're stepping into your calling. This is the perfect combination of living the life in a spiritual way that you're here for, in a pure way. In other words, you can say that you shoot for your desires and then you surrender. You launch the arrow of your desire and then you see where it lands. And then after that, you launch another one as you get the new excitement, as you follow your own path. And you keep attuning yourself to more purity, to more precise arrows as they come to you, as you understand more about yourself and your path. And it also helps to understand the true soul desires. What is ultimately you're looking for? Because if you know that, in the back of the head, you know it's not about it, yet I can follow that. So what are the things that you truly desire? You want to actualize your potential, your soul's calling. You want to grow into your true self, into your higher self. You want to express this version of you that you have created in this lifetime. You want to be yourself fully, totally, as your true self. This is one of the main things that you desire. Another thing that you truly desire is to recognize and realize, discover who you are more and more as your true nature, which is less about the expression of it, but more about tuning into that universal beingness, which is not a personal self, but more of a universal beingness. It's really about enlightening and awakening to your true nature and then merging back with that true nature. This is a journey and it comes as you move forward in your path. And the last thing that you truly want is to serve, is to give, is to love. Radiate yourself as love and serve in the highest, best, most aligned way possible. This is what you want, because then you forget about yourself and you're just in that space of service in your truest aligned way possible. And you see, all these three things that I mentioned that you truly desire, they are all intertwined, which is why there's ultimately one true desire. There's only one desire that you're following, and everything is a distortion of that desire, which is completely fine, because that's what you're here for. You're here to pursue and express that desire in a unique fashion which has never been done before. So you can rejoice in that. You can celebrate that fact. But you don't have to get lost in that. You don't have to get sucked into the illusion and identify as that. or feel bad about failure and feel so good when you're succeeding, because these are all distortions. If you come back to peace, if you come back to alignment, if you just purely, humbly, honorably pursue your path, then you are there, always there. Because this is an infinite journey. You're going to continue this cycle of desire and then that fulfillment of that true desire. Even when you fulfill that, ultimately, it still continues, because as I said, it's an infinite journey in an infinite universe. So that's why we want to respect creation and the creator. And this is how we do it. We do our job. We act our role in the most pure, highest way possible. Now, the next thing about desire is, how do we then make sure that we don't get distracted by this all random desires that may come up in your way because of your human biology, because just the way you're wired to pursue power and money. Understanding of the true nature of desire is first thing, but then the second thing is to recognize that whatever desires you have are there for a reason, and if you truly tune in to yourself, you will extract what is truly for you to pursue on your path, so you can distill the learnings from those desires that you're called for. And you will not know why you're called for certain things sometimes, but you see, you gotta sometimes respect and trust those desires, even if they seem kind of like out there and you don't know why you're called for that. Ultimately, you cannot make mistakes. So if you continue that path, you will find out that you have followed those desires for a reason, for some kind of learning. And yes, of course, use your discernment when not to pursue a desire, when not to get sucked into some path, because you can just, in that case, simply use your imagination to pursue that desire, so that you don't actually have to pursue that desire. Because then you exhaust that desire, the learnings from that, by not going into that, but just practicing the fulfillment of that desire in your mind, so that you don't have to care about it anymore. And of course, if it's still there, then you go into that path just to explore why it's there still. Because every desire is there for a reason. We just got to use our discernment what to pursue and how to go about it, how pure you are to pursue that desire. And if it's not pure, you can then either just act it out, or you can have it in your imagination and then see if it's gone or if it's still there. If it's still there, you can still step into that, and then you can distill the understanding, the learnings from that. But again, ultimately, you're all purifying all your desires into the one true desire that I talked about. Because then what happens is that what's not needed in your life just simply falls away. You don't care about that anymore. And once you don't care about something, then what you truly care about, the one true desire and the distortions of that, the three main distortions that I talked about, then you're only left with that. And this is purity. This is alignment. And you will feel so alive in those desires. So this is what your desires are all about. Know them, understand them, accept them, pursue the ones that you're really called for, and distill the learnings from the ones that may be there for you, but they're not completely pure. Just distill the learnings from them, and more you will be purified to pursue your true desire, and more you'll be living a life which is not only your best life, but you will be serving the world in the highest way possible. And that's the greatest gift you can give to this world. So my friends, continue to walk this path, and I'll see you next time.